So not too long after the Indiana Fever, they waived Bree Hall and they waived... Who else did they waive? They waived Jillia Lane. They have now waived Yvonne Ejim. Yes, they waived Yvonne Ejim, and I would have thought they would have given her the preseason game. Apologies, just got a notification there. I just muted my computer. But I would have thought they would have given her another game, because why would they not have just waived all of them at the same time? Like, for me, I don't really get that one. Like, I would have thought they would have realistically given her another game, but unfortunately, the Fever, for Gonzaga fans, the Fever have waived Yvonne Ejim. And I thought Ejim was never going to make the team. Let's be honest. Yvonne Ejim was never going to make the team, which is why I thought they were going to keep her. If you pay attention to how Caitlin operates in her daily life, she'll be a star. 20 minutes of Caitlin's like a wisdom. Like, what? What? This is like 500k or dinner with Jay-Z type talk right here. I'm sorry. Roster spot or play a game with Caitlin. Is that that has to be a question. That has to be a question. But yeah. So is she coming tonight? Oh no, it was last night. Oh no, it's not. Oh my god, they cut her. They cut her. Player subject to change. Timpson going to be the only rookie there. Player subject to change. I think that should have been a sign that she's getting cut. That should have been a sign. Did anyone notice that? Did anyone notice that there can only be one? It's weird if one is getting cut. If not, who is? KK's locked, but Ejim's really starting to grow. I thought Ejim played hard. I thought Ejim did play hard. In fairness, I'm not going to have any sort of a knock on Yvonne Ejim. But go be great. Future is bright. Once a Fever girl, always a Fever girl. Best of luck. Enjoyed watching you play. Doing this 6 hours before she's supposed to make a player appearance for the team is wild. No kidding. I don't know why they scheduled that before the rosters was set. Like, that is a crazy one. That is mad. And Timpson one cut away from the final roster spot. Obviously, Michaela Timpson's making the roster. Come on. Michaela Timpson just was sat. Like, she was sat for almost the entire second half of the last game. Why? Because she was on the floor early and was sat because it was she was sat because she was gotta make the team. She was sat with the start when the starters in the rotation were sat. And like Lynn Dunn have the cap space. I think they would have kept Grace Berger realistically if they had the cap space. And then there were 12 would have prefer keeping her over Bree Turner. That is a wild statement to make. In fairness, Bree Turner, this is all on the assumption that Bree Turner can go back to what she was when she was in Phoenix. If it turns out that, you know what, the Chicago Sky Bree Turner that we saw last year is the Bree Turner that we're going to see from now on, then completely justified statement. I still would have rather taken Bree Hall than either of them, though. We knew this was coming. One more to go. Michaela's still standing. Like, that is the thing. Like, please do not cut Michaela Timpson. Indiana. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, just don't do it. You could have done what, could have honestly done what some teams did and take a stash player. You could have taken Soltau. You could have taken, Kane. You could have taken so many players if they end up cutting, Michaela Timpson. But they're not cutting Michaela Timpson. They're not. Maybe they will. Oh, I'm getting scared now. I'm getting scared. I do think they're going to give Jaylen Brown another preseason game. And in Jaylen Brown's defense, she has been a demon on defense. She has been an absolute demon on defense. She's been playing with energy. But like, Jaylen Brown cannot put the ball in the basket. She cannot put the ball in the basket. And obviously, you've got defense, but with Michaela Timpson, you got a bit of both. But yeah, I don't mind this one. But for me, this one is a little bit unlike the Bree Hall one. I don't think Yvonne Ejim is going to be picked up by another team. I don't. If Yvonne Ejim gets picked up by another team, I would be absolutely shocked. And again, it's not a knock on Yvonne Ejim. Like, I think Yvonne Ejim is a player who was a pro, but is not a WNBA player. She's a 6 foot tall, non-shooting 4-5, which I understand. Obviously, there's going to be people in those positions and of that archetype that are going to make the WNBA, or would have made it in the past. But nowadays, it's just too hard. Like, there are 6'2", 6'3", wings now. Like, there are 6'3" wings, and like, again, you've got say Elena Deladon in the past, who was a unicorn, but I don't know. I just don't see it with Ejim. And again, as good as Ejim looked against Brazil, Yvonne Ejim did not look like she belonged on the floor against the Mystics. She turned the ball over a couple of times, messed up a couple of rotations on the defensive end, gave up the and one to Kiki or Yafen. I just don't see it. But anyway, for the Fever, I do think the Fever are going to be fine. Like, I think that there's no point in getting too bogged down on any of this. I don't think there's any point in getting too like overly hyped by any of this, or hyped in a negative way, because we knew Yvonne Ejim was getting cut. We knew Yvonne Ejim was getting cut from the second she was drafted. We knew Yvonne Ejim was going to be cut from training camp. We knew Yvonne Ejim was going to be cut from the first game. Like, we knew all that. We knew all that. So I don't know why people should be too upset. Heck, Yvonne Ejim, they didn't even give Yvonne Ejim an updated picture on WNBA.com. Like, Yvonne Ejim didn't even get a picture. Like, all the other players did on the team. And obviously she was there, but it still did not matter. It did not matter. She was at media day, but did not even get the damn picture. But yeah, it's something that a lot of people were expecting. I think a lot of people might have been upset because she was pretty good. I do have to say that she was pretty good in that last preseason game, but as I've said tons of times, she played against the Brazil national team. Like, the Brazilian national team was not a WNBA team. It was not a team even remotely at the level of a WNBA team. So I just think that it's very much a thing where, yeah, she looked good in that game. Let's not question her effort. Her effort was exceptional. She looked like she was pretty decent in any of the training camp footage we saw. And hopefully the experience will help her in her overseas career, and maybe she'll find a way to get back into the WNBA at some stage. But I do think that time is going to be years from now and extremely unlikely this year. I don't think she's ready. I think to make it into the WNBA with the archetype that she has, you've got to be super duper star almost. And yeah, unfortunately, she is not that. However, I do wish her the best of luck, and I hope that wherever she ends up playing in this season, whether she goes to play in a South America or in one of the leagues that's going on now, I think there's a couple of South American leagues going on at the minute. Obviously, we've seen Sedona Prince playing in Lebanon. I hope wherever she goes, she succeeds, because she did nothing but show effort there. It's just, unfortunately, in a cutthroat business where there's only 11 spots per team, she was not good enough to be in a top 11 on a contending team. But anyway, I'll see you guys.